Every so often you come across somebody, at least in my own life, in my journey, a person that you instantly connect with, or you have that instant bond, you recognize each other, and it feels like you've known each other for your whole life. In this next episode of Flow Real TV, episode 8, I had the opportunity to sit down with such person in the big island of Hawaii. I go there a lot just to charge up, to feel connected to my inner self, to nature, to the universe. And this next guest that I had the opportunity to sit down with and talk story, her name is Gaile, the spiritual gangster, and I call her Gangsta G. And wow, what a struggle was just to sit down and try to interview her. It took her and I about 4 days to get it right. I actually had to bike through lava rock, through the jungle, through beach, and without any water and intense heat. And yeah, was able to get there, felt so alive. And of course, setting up, had technical difficulties, and the lighting wasn't right, our hair was off, and this happened over a course of 2, 3, 4 days. But we took it in stride, and we managed to have a lot of fun and play the whole time. And you know, it was a process. It was a process that, you know, both of us could have given up. You know, sometimes we just didn't even feel ourselves, or, you know, maybe we were a little bit nervous. I had some anxiety, but, you know, fortunately, both of us had the ways of having some humor and perseverance. And we finally got this episode down in a special place in Waimea section of the big island of Hawaii, in nature. Had so much amazing experiences. And Gaile's an incredible person. As you'll see, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's funny. There's no pretentiousness. It's all about radical authenticity. And we just had a fantastic time talking about, you know, her struggles. She had mentioned going through a struggle in her life that she thought she had overcome, already dealt with through her own ways of processing, and it seemed to reveal its ugly head again, and that came through a breakup of her boyfriend. Her boyfriend broke up with her, and so through that process she was able to wake up, to consciously feel these feelings, and to, you know, enable herself to process them out, to be able to feel them out to that point where she was whole again. And Gaile will be writing a book soon. This book will be titled Thank You for Breaking Up With Me. I think it's a fantastic name for a book. It should be coming out December 2016. And you know, all I can say is just check this episode out. We are just, you know, laughing our asses off, having a great time, talking about life and flow states, about, you know, the breakdowns that lead to the breakthroughs, all the good stuff about life. So, you know, the light side, the dark side, being able to observe your monkey mind, your lizard brain, and to consciously play in the comedy and tragedies of life, as the Greeks say. So without further ado, enjoy this episode of Flow Real TV, episode 8, with Gaile, the spiritual gangster, Lynn. Aloha.
Yo.
Yo, what up? Huh?
Yo, yo.
How you do that? I know how to do blood.
Shit.
Whoa, it's a storm.
Gale force.
Gale force, I love it. Hi everybody, this is Tony Flow Real and welcome to Flow Real TV. Talking stories coming to you from the big island of Hawaii. I'm here with my guest, Gaile, the spiritual gangsta. Lynn, what's up? Welcome to the show, Gaile.
You forgot to say I'm your friend too.
Oh my gosh! Gaile is my friend.
Yo, thank you. I love you.
Yeah, we've been friends for not that long, but it feels like we've known each other for
Forever.
Yeah, you got something right here.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
Oh, you're good now.
Shit. I'm supposed to look good on camera.
Holy smokes, has this been like a challenge, a struggle, a journey the last 4 years? 4 years, yeah, it feels like that. It's been like
40,000.
4 days of trying to film this interview, and I biked through lava rock, through jungle, through bush, through beach.
Rain.
Get you on the first day. Didn't work out, it was too hot.
Sweating.
Bad hair day for both of us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Still
goodness.
going on.
Yes. What happened on the second day? We tried to film and it the battery didn't work.
In the most bucolic, beautiful setting of them all, with the horses.
The horses.
The mystical light, like the sunlight coming through the trees. I looked beautiful.
Yeah, no dispersed lighting.
No diffuse lighting. Like right now, the lighting sucks, okay?
And third day, we got like weathered out. It was misty, rainy, and again, could not record. But instead, all those days, including today, we were in flow.
Oh my God.
Having amazing conversations about life, consciousness, our own little inner shits, shadows, our little brains.
Little brains.
Our little egos. Yeah.
But just like knowing they're the little brain, as we call it, our little brain, taking them by the hand, like, I know you're there, little brain. Come with me. So all that chatter's happening and all that nah, and then it's like we're just meanwhile enjoying that experience because it's just a lot of play on the surface when we're just observing all that taking place and enjoying that it's happening and being aware at the moment that we see it or like speak it. We're just like, okay, I know that's happening. And ride with it.
So hard like to feel it and know it's going on, and you want to change it, you know, you're so resistant to it, and
this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, it's just feeling it. You got to feel it out, right? See it through.
Ride out the energy.
Is that your process? Is that what you do?
Yeah, if there's a process to it.
Yeah.
It's more like what's happening. It's just happening, and life is going that way. The energy is going that way. Follow the yellow brick road. You know, no need to like go, I don't want to go that way, and I'm lost and confused. It's just like watch the flow, watch the energy, just be in it, and it just seamlessly happens. You know, and also the level of relaxation. Like relaxing into that, chilling into that. I remember my mom saying once that, okay, so when you're cold, and your body's cold, and you want to like contract, you're like this, your muscles are contracting, you're getting cold, and if you find a way to just relax into that coldness, the chill in your body, guess what happens? More blood flow, and you're getting warmer. So the exact opposite is true, but our tendency is to contract. Just like she also said, getting in a car accident, you see it coming, you know, maybe it's slow motion and you know it's going to happen, and you go, ah! Where when that impact happens, these tight muscles get banged by a really big force, more injury. Whereas if you're like, find a way to relax as much as you can in that moment that you see coming and you want to contract. You just take a moment to, then when the impact happens, less injury. So I'm intimating that when you are going through life, relaxing into all that stuff that's happening that we're resisting, that when we see the resistance, we're just like, oh.
Yeah, surrendered into it, right?
Yeah.
And how did your mom know this about the cold? Because there's this guy named Iceman that talks about the same thing, is that you expose yourself to cold and you breathe through it and you feel it out and then you get blood flow. How did your mom know that? Like, did she grow up in Detroit too?
Tennessee is where she was born. So like living in poverty and always feeling a little bit different than the rest of her family members. She went on to eventually buy her parents their first home. So she had this level of consciousness and awareness and insight, fortitude, just feeling that there was something that was calling her, I guess. And she just learned outside of the box all of these ways of viewing life and assisting the ride.
Wow, was she in an accident as well, like in a car accident, or was
No.
it just something she intuited?
I suppose so.
Amazing.
What do you think, Mom? Where are you? She's back in Detroit.
Yes, awesome. So you grew up there, right?
I did. 40 years spent.
8 Mile, Eminem, Gangsta, rapper.
Yo. That's how I learned all my gangsta rap. You know?
Yeah, I love it.
Actually-
Wild woman.
Yeah. You got it.
Yo.
I spent 40 years in Michigan, 3 years in Santa Monica, California, 3 years on Maui, and now almost 3 years here on the Big Island,
Big
which is
Island.
my most treasured spot. And it is the most remote landmass in all the world. And we're on a rock in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And it's just the energy, the mana as it's called here, you know, in Hawaiian language, it's called mana, and it's so rich and sparkly, and it activates people, and it's like we're the beacon of light to the whole existing world out there. And that may sound a little woo-woo or different perspective than most,
Yeah.
yet it is something that I can sense, and that it's been told by people who are really tuned into that, especially here on the island.
And people say that anyways, like anytime they go out in nature, which is why we're filming in nature, because we feel amazing in nature. We feel our inner nature. We're expressing it. We're being wild in nature. So, you know, I mean, that's just the Hawaiian language, mana, for that energy that we feel when we're totally in tune with the trees and the breeze and the sunlight, and feeling energetic and powerful. Yeah.
How does my hair look? I'm in my head about that. Isn't that interesting? I lost the present moment. I'm back.
Yeah, isn't that cool how we just toggle back and forth, right? Like my last interview I had where my interviewee, Scott Jeffries, was talking about how we toggle back from unconscious to conscious. And, you know, if we look back on the day before, there's a lot of like gaps where it was like, what was I doing? Where did I go? You know, if you're driving a car and you get to your destination and you show up and you're like, who was driving the car? Because that was in my
life.
mind.
It's a metaphor. Who's driving the car at the moment?
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like on autopilot, zombie mode sometimes, and it happened here, but you had the presence of mind to come back here. And even while you're speaking, my mind's doing all this stuff
Me too.
at the same time. Yeah,
Yet we're aware it's doing it.
exactly.
We're aware that that's occurring, which is, I think, what's it's not as common. It's not the most, what am I trying to say, babe?
I just think that, like you're saying, you're trying to say that a lot of people are just caught up to the day-to-day, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you'd think of it as the Matrix as a great metaphor, but it is beyond that. But yes, you can't see what's happening when it's the water you're swimming in, you know, the air you're breathing. When you're outside of it, looking at the fish in the ocean, then you're not engaged in it. You know, it's not just got you like an alien on your face.
Wow.
And then you can observe what's happening. Like, you start to get to the point where you see that happened after the fact. Like, I see that I was just playing that program out and it created that mess. And you might even start to judge that you created a mess. Yet I'm at the point, and I think you are too, like developed a knack for the whole thing, so that now while the program is playing out, while the mind is going, then you can see that it's playing out in the moment. You know it's playing out in the moment, and you let it run its course, or without making it mean anything, or you just like, yeah, okay, I'm cutting that one off right now. Cut.
Yeah, so you can play it out like a drama on stage, right?
Knowing you're in the drama.
Yeah, exactly. So you can like be that like asshole, you can be that like that bitch, you know, that bastard, right? And play it and interact with the other person to see if they can tune in at the same time as well, you know, or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
And either way is okay. You know?
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
How do I look now? Because the diffuse light rolled in and I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to be on camera. I got to do my hair. I want to wear my hat right now. Shit.
I was part of my grizzly stick, you know.
I just want to cut a little bit off.
I know.
It helps my posture. It's raining, and what the fuck? I love the mind.
Holy fuck, right? We've had a lot of these like over the last 4 days where we just talked about telepathy.
Telepathy?
Telepathy, is that how you
Telepathy?
say it? Telepathy?
Woo!
Oh, that's interesting.
Telepathy. Is there such a word? I want to look it up.
Yeah, that sounds like a seafood or something.
Tilapia is a fish.
Tilapia. Yeah, it's a tilapia with telepathy.
Tilapia. We're having fish talk without speaking.
So we're gonna go to Why Mad Coffee, and you know we already found. Hey,
hi kids. Come on up. Come here.
We got a studio audience.
They can see. You want to be on camera? Cool, you are. Can they see?
You are camera, candid camera.
Candid camera.
Candid. Oh, we got the
Bush
boys, the Jungle Bush Boys.
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies? Is that what you just said?
Lord of the Flies. Anywho,
I love you.
I love you too. We were going to Why Mad Coffee, but we both didn't like it. Yeah, that was yesterday. And the reason was because they play the music so loud that the cashiers cannot understand what you're ordering. And you're like, why don't you just turn the music down? So before we went, we said, would it be funny if we could just send a thought over there? You were sending the thought, turn the volume down. And sure enough, we went there, and I'll let you finish the story.
And the guy said, may I take your order? And he said, wait a minute, I gotta turn the music down. Woo! We're just like, yeah!
Whoa! How did that happen?
Not only how did that happen, but we might be able to enjoy our experience and actually have a convo.
Even better, right?
Yeah.
And what was cool was we said, can we do that and film it? And he was totally into it. So you reenacted that scene.
Well, ordering something.
Yeah.
Not the music turning down thing. But he was totally game to do our little play acting deal, which I asked you, maybe we could do that when we get in there. Like, ask someone if they'd like to engage us to film a telepathic communication, or at least staging that was trying to happen. And you can share the story with me because you were the videographer. But it started out with asking this guy, remember? Like, hey, can you play along with us on something? And he's like, sure. I said, I'm going to pretend that I'm telepathically trying to communicate my order. So when you say, may I take your order, ma'am? And I'm like, and he goes, may I take your order? Because he's just sitting there watching me not talk. And I said, and he went, a Reuben? And I'm like, yes! And the next moment was, take it away.
What did he say? Oh, he said, that will be
$11.95.
$11.95. And you're like, oh, it's free.
I'm like, yes!
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was so cool. And there were so many moments like that that happened throughout the day, meeting these cool people outside the coffee shop, meeting the beautiful dog, you know. We thought
Megatron.
Incredible.
Yeah. You know, if I may, that flow that occurred with us yesterday was to me one of the most potent examples of flow and what can arise that expands connection and expands your view of life and how you view people. And it was so enriching and my heart expanded. I just had these little epiphanies all day long. I learned so many things in the span of 2 hours that we were engaging this couple. And their names were, how's my hair now?
Billy.
Billy.
Your hair looks great.
Thank you.
And Jessica.
Billy and Jessica. And they were just sitting on the same lanai on the porch outside of the restaurant. And Billy looked so unique, like the skateboard, the tattoos, his
punk rock
look, and his cool dog Megatron. And we started engaging him, and it was fun. And like, who's this dude? You know, we want to get to know him better. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna go burn. You guys want to join us? You want to join me? You guys want to join me? He's gonna have some. And we're like, no, not our thing, but thank you. And then all of a sudden his wife showed up. Jessica showed up. And she skateboards in. He called her his wife. I don't think they've been married yet.
That's beautiful.
But you know, the way they related to each other, it's like, what they've been together for 5 years with only one break in between that 5 years when he did a stint in jail. And he's not like a criminal. He maybe just did something like sell a drug or something and he got busted. But they were writing each other while he was away and just sharing love notes, and they were just enjoying it. He was away.
So obvious that they were soulmates.
Damn. Wasn't it though?
Yeah, it was that just watching them interact and the way they looked at each other, some of their little like tiny little their own little ways they talk to each other.
With body language and verbally, and the joy that was between them. I mean, she was kind of punk rockish too, yet she pulled out a huge novel out of her backpack and she was about to read this literature, this profound literature, and they were playing music and they were ready to have a drink and a doobie and just like chill back here in the forest. They led us to the spot, you know, the most magical little fairy spot with trees and keiki plants, and where are we? It's almost surreal how we joined up with them. We had this like divine intersection, you know, that just happened to occur. It's kind of like destined to occur, for lack of a better phrase. And we rolled with it, and seamlessly. And the conversations were outstanding, and the engagement was natural, and a lot of laughter, and wasn't it?
Yeah, it's so
rich?
So much, yeah, it's so much spontaneity. I mean, none of it was planned, right? It just all happened, just flowed.
And we rolled, flowed.
Just flowed. Unbelievable.
Sexy. I love flow.
And it seemed unbelievable.
Sexy. I love flow.
And it seemed like that was happening like the last 4 days as we tried to set up the cameras and try to do this, which was all unflowy. And when we broke it down, we talked about it. And then we're like, what's next on the journey? Let's go here, let's go there, let's see what happens.
No plan.
And yeah, and just everything unfolded.
Yeah. I want my hat.
Well, watch out here.
I could do it all. Okay. The rain is just like killing me right now.
You're really going gangster now, Gail.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing my black sheep hat. See, black sheep. Oh man, it's really raining. Oh my God. I love that the elements are just taking us in all these different spaces.
I think we're gonna have to like cut it soon, but
We don't
we'll
want
see.
Their technology to get wet.
Yeah.
Hey, can
Hey.
you like come back a little later, Rain? And
I think it's starting to chill out again. I think we can keep going and roll with this. This is fun, spontaneous.
I like that we're just flowing with the weather changes even, you know, it's very exciting.
I think it's just like analogous or a metaphor for life to just
Analogous?
analogous. Thank you. I got an English teacher for the first time.
Oh man.
Seriously, this is so awesome. Like, this is part of my shtick too, but I definitely want to improve.
Oh, then hang out with me, gorgeous, because
Yeah.
I love the languages. I love languages. I'm crazy about them.
Love languages too, and I find it helps me like just communicate better.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Just adding little words to your vocabulary. Just keep on finding the proper pronunciation, new words. It's like, oh, not only is it a little hit of yay, like for me it's a little dopamine hit, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a joy to discover things, and the language allows for that discovery, you know? And at the same time, using words, it doesn't cut it. For some of the experiences that we're having, it's like words can't actually be sufficient to describe something.
Well, you just took that out of my mind.
I saw that.
Exactly. That was incredible.
A recognition.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, and that's where I like hang out a lot.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Awesome.
you know, just trying to toggle back into different worlds to be able to describe what is I'm feeling, which is like ineffable. Is that a right word?
You got it.
I got it! Holy smokes!
I don't know. Is that supposed to be used in this sentence? Did you punctuate it properly?
Yeah, right?
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point. But yeah, some things are just so hard to describe in words, but sometimes you do find those words that really paint that canvas like beautifully, you know. But you know, energy, feeling that, and you know, that sounds woo-woo too, but literally, like, what is the signal that's coming through our eyes, our skin, our ears, our hearing, taste, touch, right?
Full spectrum sensory experience, you know?
Exactly. Turn all that up, turn the volume on that, even close all those senses, and what's left, that's like your awareness, right? Like if you just went into sensory deprivation, it was all dark, and you closed your eyes, and then it's like, what is that awareness that's aware? Like, how do you know that you even exist? Like, what's that behind the eyeballs or in the body, you know? And then when you connect with that full sensory enhancement, amplification, like, you start to see a lot, and that's what happens in flow states.
In flow states? Oh,
In
yeah.
flow states, yeah.
Like we've been having for the past 4 days, I've been having not only epiphanies, but just an altered state. It's been several altered states whereby, like, some people take drugs for altered states, or, you know, to get high or get off or have those hits of all the chemicals. And that's great. That's not for me, but it's great if somebody goes there. Another thing is other people are having altered states through drugs consciously, like with the intention of expanding their awareness, whether it be ayahuasca or ecstasy, mushrooms. Good, that's cool too. And I've been there. I've done that route, and I can't say I won't do it again. Not ayahuasca, not my shamanic, it's not a shamanic journey for me, but like natural substances from nature, mushrooms, microdosing, as we talked about, just a little bit, and then it begins to expand things, and that's the beauty of it. We're here, I believe, for awareness, to keep opening up our capacity to be aware and see. Your sight just becomes enhanced, and that's when you can go beyond the mind and all the machinations and the limited narrow scope that most people, we don't realize are in it, that limited narrow scope.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that, you know, these things are tools, and it's just like fire. It's not either good or bad. It's just how you use it, you know, and you can get into these states like naturally. You can get them through, you know, exogenous or external substances. You can get it from doing like fast breathing, you know. You can dance, get a static dance.
Making love.
Making love. All these experiences, right? And what's cool is that when you start to like tap into these sort of more aware states, you can't believe what's always been there in front of the tip of your nose. but you just passed through them because maybe you were just complacent, and maybe you just, just got used to your comfort level. But as soon as you start to go towards your fears, go to those places where it's a little scary, unknown, all of a sudden, like, these chemicals start pouring into our system, and it like amplifies your sensory perceptions, and you start to see things.
It's fun.
It's amazing. And part of it is going through struggles, like people are missing so much of life because they just don't want to put the effort or put the struggle in. And when you do that,
or unaware that there's something beyond struggle and strife. Yeah?
Yeah, there's those things where, and maybe because of trauma too, right? Like we were talking about that maybe they had an early trauma that got them guarded, so whenever they face a situation in their later part of their life, it's just an instinctual, biological thing that happens.
Hardwired program.
Hardwired, it's, yeah, genetic.
And you go there, it's a neural pathway in the brain. It's a groove, it's a slippery slope,
Yeah.
And you just go there.
And so reinforced, but the cool thing is you can totally disengage with it. There's so many of us, that's why we do these shows, is to enable people to actually get the healing aspect of flow too, when they actually, for the first time, I find the environment is crucial, the people that you hang out with, like your tribe. When you feel safe, you feel safe enough to make a tiny baby step outside your comfort zone. And then when you feel that that's fine and nothing bad's happening, you're not like being attacked or whatever like scary feelings you're feeling, it feels safe, then you can go a little bit further. And with a cool environment and a cool vibe of people that are like totally loving, understanding, and like non-judgmental, it's amazing, like the transformation that happens to people, not through techniques, right? Not through like coercion or manipulation. It's just by like hanging out in the vibe, basking in it, and getting it through osmosis.
Yeah. Everything's energy. Every single thing is energy. That's just what's so, and vibration. And even this crystal, Aqua Aura from VegaJewelry.com. My girlfriend Victoria, love her. Shout out, girl. It's energy can neither be destroyed or created. It just is. It changes form. And my brother passed away 7 months ago, and oh God, I miss that guy. His name was David Wayne. Bless his beautiful soul. And at the same time, he's not gone. Physical form, gone. His energy cannot go. It cannot be eradicated. It just changed forms. And when I'm there with this kind of awareness, it really, there's more beauty to his death. And that might sound really strange because it is you feel sadness, trauma, whatever might come up for people, it's all right. And expanding the picture a little bit more, zooming the camera out, you see the perfection in it happening. That there's something, I call it gold in the middle. There's just gold in the middle. Look for the gold. There's something beautiful and precious that's arising, whether it be it's illuminating our consciousness about something, or whether we just were so feeling broken that it broke us open. And to recognize how deeply you love something, or your experience of love was so enhanced that you now just love deeply, and compassion, and it's just so much can come from a trauma or a death. It's all beautiful.
It's all beautiful.
It's all beautiful. Yeah.
You had mentioned like pressure, right? And all the gemstones that create from diamonds to crystals, all come out of pressure, gold,
I call it the refining fire.
Mm-hmm.
We go into it, and the fire, if we just sit with it and allow it to be present without us trying to get out of it, or this shouldn't be happening and this is too hard, and all of the things the mind is up to avoid those sensations, to get out of the experience of it because it's not pleasant. Yet if you just ride that current and find that way to just, not even finding it, just experiencing it, just experience it. And it's being grateful that you can experience it. We're here to have experiences, and right now you're having an experience that feels like a bad one. It's just a fluctuation. It's just an energetic form being expressed, and you feel it in the body. And when you can just attune to that, place your attention back to that sensation, feel it, melt into it, you can almost get to the point where it's a joy. And as the more you feel it, it's not a technique, it's just an experience, placing your attention on something else. And when that begins to become your devotion to truth, so instead of the untruth that the mind generates, you're attuning to the truth, the essence of you, just turning your attention back into, this is not real, and you're feeling the sensation, which is of the body, in the body, and it's communicating, you feel it. It's not born of a thought process. And so by feeling it, you notice that things start to release their grip. You're not like being tossed around by the mind, and old programs aren't playing themselves out. You're not feeling those sensations in order to get out of those patterns and the trauma, etc. Yet it's like the sun burning off the mist. The mist is all that yucky, mucky stuff. The sun comes along and burns it off. It dissolves it naturally, there's no effort. You don't need anything else but the willingness to feel that, and the willingness to see. That's it. No technique, no tool, no guru, no philosophy. You just hang with yourself.
Hang with this spiritual gangsta self.
Yo.
Yeah, that's so cool. Can you tell us a moment, you had mentioned in an earlier conversation about going through a breakup with a boyfriend that really brought you to
your... Gale Force.
Woo! It really brought you to your...
I'm getting chilly, are you?
Your
Sorry about that. The mic is...
adjusted here.
The mic is, it's messed up, You don't have to edit this out, do you? You can just keep it.
Oh yeah, it's part of the fun here.
Yeah, like stuff happens, and be okay with it. I wouldn't have been okay with this in the past. I would have been freaking out on some level. Like, totally, oh my God, we're on camera. The mic is fucking, the sound is bad.
Technical difficulty while we're live. I'm coughing.
Shouldn't be happening.
We're being rained.
We're not looking good.
The microphone
How's my hair
is off.
again?
I jumped out of camera.
How's my hair again, isn't it? Okay.
This is so
How do I
funny.
look? Do I look okay? Isn't it great?
Like, oh,
you want to borrow my flower? And
yeah, I'll wear the flower.
Oh, that's so hot. It's just like guys, by the way, thinking, oh, take a picture.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. I don't know how long that's going to stay, but...
Hey, right now you look super fly,
super fly.
Gorgeous.
Flow, flower,
Yo.
peace, hang loose. I love you, bullhorn. So I don't know, one of those.
Thumbs up, peace sign, the mudra, the shaka, which in Hawaiian. And there was one other one, but I started to forget, and I added in like the sign language for gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, gotta go to the bathroom.
It's all representative, like, the hands can communicate so much.
Yeah, it's
so
sign
much.
language.
And the heart.
Talk about like not using words, but using expression, body language, your hands as the way to communicate.
And you and I, like many, are beginning to discover nuances. Like everybody has this capacity to see the nuances of energy. You can tell when I leave.
She's checking out Gail, come back here.
Just like I can do that with you, and we're like, okay, you just left. But it was just a subtle movement of eyes, you could just see the little blank kind of stare, only momentary, but you can see it. You're more attuned to things shifting without trying to do anything about it, just noticing it. You can even encourage something like, oh my God, hilarious, you just went unconscious. High five.
Thank you for bringing me back. Rescuer 911. 911.
We all go to sleep. We get amnesia. It's just we have an awareness right now. We're kind of talking in a conscious way about our consciously in the conscious environment, and then boop, the next minute we go unconscious, and we're just like, cool.
And the light shines upon me
Oh!
right now. Woo!
I want to be in the sun because I'm freezing in Hawaii.
In Hawaii.
But we're in Waimea where it's colder, up mountain.
Yeah, up country style. Yeah. So
So,
what was your
story.
big flow moment? Like that was what you were saying, that your boyfriend broke up with you, and normally you would just be having that little, you know, tantrum, like inner child flipping out for days.
For days. Oof, just thinking about him. I'm so glad he is my boyfriend right now, which he broke up with me then, yet it was a necessary element of our journey. And all things in true perfection, you know, no question about it. Yet, when this occurred, when he said, Gail, I'm done. We've had so much challenge. It's just not sorting itself out, which our mind is saying that it created the fucking crap, and the mind is saying we can't undo the crap. It's just one big clusterfuck. I can say fuck here, right?
Absolutely.
Because I say fuck a lot. It's a great way to
Fuck.
fuckity fuck.
Yes. That's part of our exercising our demons, you know.
Well, it's like an energetic form, just like fuck, and the energy shifts, you know.
Just gotta release it, you know. Absolutely.
And when he broke up with me, it was one of those moments of like, I lost my breath for a second. I was like, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I knew we were having challenges. We were creating this experience that we didn't think we could resolve, yet I was in the game like, we're getting it resolved. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just hang in. And he wasn't there. He wasn't on the same wavelength. So when he broke up with me, he was just like resolute. I could see it. It wasn't like, you're out of here. It was just in his eyes, in his energy. Pow, he's done. So I heard this voice come out of me saying, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Like a pleading, a desperation. And
A begging.
yeah. I was like, please don't leave me. And I had the presence of mind somehow to be aware that this was being spoken. And I'm like, who's speaking that? You know, like it ain't me. The real vast consciousness behind the person that's out here having the experience, and then take it down another notch, this little girl inside of me was starting to express herself. So this person was having an experience of a breakup, and then this little girl came out like, no, please don't leave me. And I thought immediately, she just needs a little TLC right now. I'm back to when I was a little girl. My dad was walking out that door. Please don't leave. It just expressed itself all over again. I thought I had that handled, you know?
Yeah, it was buried in deep, huh?
Well, not only buried, I'd addressed it before. I'd addressed it. Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been kind of so passionate, and just geeks me out to just keep noticing programs and be willing to see them and dig in a little deeper and bring more awareness to it, more love, because that's all it needs is some love, you know? And I was always into that. I don't know how that began, but it's a true joy to keep tapping into that stuff, to kind of cut away so that real joy can allow itself to arise, and that's our natural state, you know? And Michelangelo.
You
Thank you for correcting me. Yeah.
Full circle.
We're buddies that way.
Full circle. Yeah.
Yo.
We're self-correcting organisms.
Back up. So yeah, Michelangelo carved David out of a block of marble. He just chiseled away at all that wasn't David, you know, and there he was, this gorgeous statue that was just something to behold. Everyone stares at the beauty and the magnitude of this expression in marble. So that's been my passion, just keep chiseling away at all that isn't Gail. And so when I was in that experience, it was nothing new to me, like, oh, that was from my dad. I thought I had that handle, like that was already addressed, it's gone out of my vibe, and it wasn't. It arose again for me to see. It just came up into the light. Yet in that moment, I wasn't attending to that program is at play. I had a sense of awareness, but I went into despair, man. I went into despair. This man I love is saying, no, I'm gonna leave you. And I broke into tears and panic and absolute anguish and terror. It's all of this full spectrum of that you might expect in a breakup. You know, it can be depressing for people, really, really sad. You don't feel like you're enough, that someone left you because you're not adequate, you're not meeting their needs, you're just not okay with them anymore. And it's heartbreak for people, or even for the person who's breaking up. A lot of heartbreak. You don't want to separate from that individual, but it's just not working, or disinterested, whatever it may be. It doesn't feel good. So for me, I was in despair. And I remember lying down that night, and he turned to me and said, "It's going to be okay, Gal." He just whispered, "It's going to be okay." And I took my first breath and I fell asleep. And in the morning, I woke to that same sensation of despair. It was like all over again, just like, there it is. And it's like, I can't be with it. I don't want this. It just perpetuated. It just kept going. And I called my family, my parents, my mom and stepfather, and I said to them, "You broke up with me," sobbing. And my stepfather said, "Oh shit," because he knew, based on past experience, that when a guy breaks up with Gaile, and they mostly did because I was like an intense ball of energy, most couldn't be with it, or didn't want to, or they just wanted to go. So he said, "Oh shit," because he knows that when I have that experience, I'm down for the count. I'm depressed, I am ballistic, I check out. I'm just like nobody home, but absolute despair and sadness takes over. I just give into it. And didn't see it. I don't see that I'm giving into that despair. It is the water I'm swimming in, you know? But at some point that flow kicked in, like this is the moment when you can finally break open out of that construct of the mind into the flow state, when I simply allowed all of those emotions and sensations to be experienced. I wasn't trying to fend off despair or dictate that this ought to not be happening, you know, more constriction. I let it be, and then it was relaxed. I relaxed into it, just like when your blood is
The blood flow, yeah.
flowing because you relaxed, man. So I'm saying man a lot. I like it.
Yeah, man. And you just like read my mind, man, because woman.
Hey, man. Woo! Boom. Yeah. So that's what happened. That is exactly what opened everything up for me. The channels of my light, dynamic energy, flow, freedom from what I was experiencing, because I allowed myself to kind of melt into it all. It was a relaxed state where I just went into that fire. No resistance. No resistance. And that's the cause of people suffering, resisting everything. So non-resistance.
You just dropped down some spiritual rap there.
Gangsta spiritual rap.
Gangsta. Whew.
But in essence, my love, it's no resistance. Felt it all, just attuned to those sensations. I was in my body, which is where the magic happens. It's that alchemy, being in the body. Bye, flower.
Bye, flower.
You're in your body. There's truth happening there. There's the gift of sensations happening there. Hang right in that. I felt it all. I allowed for it to be. And then boom, out of it. So the next day I called my family. I'm like, "How you doing?" They said, "It's amazing. I'm so grateful for everything that's happened." I'm like, "Damn, I'm grateful." They're like, "What?"
What just happened to you?
Yeah, but my stepfather, a psychologist, said, what exactly led to that occurring? Because in his mind, he couldn't put it together logically, you know? They think linear. And I said, just surrender, man. Just surrender and trust. Allowed myself to have the experience. No resistance. Yay, bring it on. Feel it. Boom, out of it. And they're just like, wow. So the next day I said, thank you for breaking up with me. Thank you for breaking up with me. Thank you for the gift of that.
Wow.
To allow my awareness to expand, to allow my consciousness to just breathe this in. And
your heart got, instead of heart broken, it was broken open.
yeah.
Yeah, like
was
a
a
heartbreak
freedom that-
broken open, yeah.
It just expanded into bliss. Not like, whoa, just like, hey, there's a freedom, a relaxation.
It's okay.
It was all right.
Yeah.
And that's what led to my book, which is almost complete. Thank you for breaking up with me.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a hot topic. It's just, you know, it's a
I love the
topic about-
title.
Me too.
Yeah.
It just came naturally, you know. And a lot of people, a lot of women in particular, are like, oh man, I love the title. I can't wait to read that. And GaileLynn.com.
Beautiful.
Gaile Lynn.com is where they can sign up to receive notification when it's ready to go. It's like, this is a material that I'm not teaching anything. I'm not saying there's a tool or a philosophy. I welcome people to just try it on for size and see how it goes for them. And, you know,
I love
my
that
spirit.
approach too, because we've been so bombarded with just shameless advertising, marketing, manipulation, and you know, everybody's trying to sell product and stuff, and I totally get it. But you know, even the new neuro marketing. Are you cold?
Yes, but carry on.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm not
Feeling it.
contracting.
Get the blood flow. Surrender into it, baby.
Woo! In the meanwhile, I'm going to
Yeah.
cover up a little.
But it's really like repulsive to see that, you know. I mean, you get really keen on sensing bullshit, and you can tell when somebody's trying to sell you something or pitch you something rather than just share. And you know, I think that's what's really cool about society now, because there's jokes about, you know, ask your doctor if this drug is right for you, you know, like even though it causes like diarrhea and like, you know, paralysis and
Death.
yeah, you know, it's just like, wow. Or hearing about like, you know, possibly a bunch of McDonald's are gonna start shutting down because people are becoming aware this is not really food, you know. And so yeah, to be able to share this information without like any kind of like agenda, you know, it's just like, this is who I am, this is me expressing myself, this is what worked for me. Read this story, see if it makes a difference in your life, you know. And I get that same kind of vibe from you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's really for me, maybe I'm a muse. I'm amused that I could be a muse. People seem to be inspired with what I have to say or share, because it's not from a place of anything but being raw and real and just like air your dirty laundry. And I love it. I love it because we all have it. We can relate. And so it's been a joy to write this, and for no other reason than perhaps just for fun for me. And then maybe it plants a seed in consciousness. I keep talking like this. Maybe it perhaps plants a seed in consciousness that awakens what's already there, like a deeper knowing, a deeper wisdom. It's not adding more information to one's intellect to have to memorize or engage or interact with. It's not knowledge based. It's just an awareness that's expanded, perhaps by this new perspective. Since everything's perception, perhaps have a new one that could really like be fun.
Man, yeah, absolutely. We've been having a lot of fun the last 4 days, my goodness.
The sun's in your face. I'm envious.
Oh,
Cast them over here.
here's a flower for you.
Thank you, baby.
Well, we're wrapping up.
Yo.
It's the end of the show, but thank you so much, Gaile, the spiritual Gangsta Lynn, for coming on to Flow Real TV.
I'm so honored.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so freaked out that I even got, because you and I were talking about that, just being so wanting to share, being inspired, called to be more out there and say what we wish to say and meet new people that have something to say. And it's all just energetically vibing us What the fuck am I trying to say?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
We both like freaked out, like, I don't want to do, I'm going to be seen more.
What you're trying to say is that we have a message that we had our own self-healing and our own sort of transformation, epiphanies that enable us to be whole. So by sharing these stories that, you know, other people are not alone, whether they don't really have anybody they can relate to or vibe with, they feel like they hang out with a certain group and it's just like blah, 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 blah. And you're like, geez, I really want to engage and get deeper, but they're talking about like
Politics, the weather,
this car they bought it, or
that bitch,
reality show bitch, or something like that, or whatever it is.
I love it.
Right? And you know, that there are people like us that are super goofy, super raw and real, as you said, totally authentic, and you know, just here to be, you know, cool, like people, like I'm cool.
The other people aren't cool.
I'm super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not like above anybody. We were talking about that earlier. It's all the same. It's equanimous, good, bad, right, wrong. These are not any different from one another. They're equal, they're equanimous. Yeah, and so it's part of the full spectrum of experience, and we're just here to have experiences and laugh at it. It's just super cool. Yeah. And so, yeah, thanks for the honor of just engaging me in dialogue, and because we were saying we were kind of freaked out to be seen more by the public eye, and we're just freaking out and doing it anyway.
Doing it anyways, being vulnerable, and you know, and it feels amazing. Like it is cathartic for me doing this show as an expression, and it feels like an art, and it's something that's deep inside of me that wants to come out. Yeah,
Yes,
no
too.
drugs were involved on this.
No drugs.
This is natural high. Sponsored by
Nature.
Milwaukee
Nature.
High.
Yeah, so all power to everybody's experience, everybody's expression of their clothing, of their words, of their nature, of their energy. It's all good. It's all beautiful. It's all God, you know?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much, Gail.
Ah, yes, I just went like angel mode, yeah.
Give me a big hug.
Fuck yeah. I love it.
Love you.
Love, 'tis all there is. Mwah.
Mwah.
Mwah. Aloha.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 8 of Flow Real TV. For more information on Gaile Lynn, go to her website at www.gailelynn.com and check out her upcoming book, which will be released by December 2016. Thank you for breaking up with me. Aloha.